One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the intuitive prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector. Something is lurking in the water.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, here for another Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. It is Monday morning. You have reached the right location here on the Intuitive Prospector page. How's everybody doing this morning? This morning we're going to be talking about evolving or revolving. What does your path look like? What are you doing on your journey? Are you repeating the same mistakes and are you doing the same lessons over and over and over again? I always like to teach, what we resist persists and the lessons repeat until they complete. So with that, let's get the morning started. I've got a few of my spiritual prospectors tuning into the this morning's show. I've got my Tree of Life t-shirt. It's kind of a cool t-shirt. I'll kind of show it to you guys. If I can stand up without knocking over my, it's kind of the Tree of Life, and it glows in the dark. So I'm actually wearing that today as part of my evolution and the things that I've gone through in my journey of spiritualism. So If you're new to the page, let me know that you're new, and we can welcome you. We've got people all around the world listening in, tuning into the show. I like to come on Facebook Live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and at 8:30, stick around for the Healing Cafe, where I'll actually do live readings, spiritual chats, conversations. I call them community conversations, and really just inspiring you for the week ahead. This is what this show is all about. It's inspirational messages for the week ahead. And today I wanted to talk about, are you evolving, which means going up? Are you learning from your lessons and moving forward? Are you revolving and coming back to the same lessons that we tend to repeat as humans? Whether that's your career, relationships, family drama, friend drama, just life in general. So good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining in. Again, we're going to be talking about evolving or revolving, spinning our wheels. But before we do that, let's take a nice deep breath. And let's pull our focus into what I call the magic in the moment. And we do that with coffee. So today I got a nice Smile cup of, it's a local cafe here, Bird on a Wire, I believe. So let's start off with a nice cup of joe, a nice cup of tea. Because what would Metaphysical Mocha Mondays be without a nice mocha? And I'm getting pretty good at making my mochas, guys. Just so you know, I've got I've got a Keurig machine and a Nestle. Nestle. It actually foams the milk and it makes a nice latte. So let me get another drink. That was actually really good. Made with hemp milk. And today I'm talking about evolving or revolving. So make sure to stick around for the Healing Cafe. I will go down and grab my telephone and turn on messages so you can have a conversation with me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, helping you prospect for your own spiritual healing, your own spiritual transformations, your own spiritual path, so that we can find your spiritual goal together. You can find more about me at marclainhart.com, internet search The Intuitive Prospector. You can also find me through Best American Psychics, some of the top psychics in the country of the United States, and also Bob Olson's Best Psychic Directory. And you can also catch me by opening up the Positive Living application through Ariel's Positive Living and ask for spiritual daily tips. So if you have an Alexa or Echo Pod, enable the Positive Living app, and then every day you can ask for a spiritual daily tip. So I give you spiritual tips to help you on your spiritual journey. So if you're new, let us know where you're where you're coming in from. I'm broadcasting here from Seattle, Washington, so I'm in the beautiful Pacific Northwest as we move into the fall months. The sun is up. It's actually a beautiful morning. And today I'm talking about evolving or revolving. The choice is always our own. It's always us to learn in life, and that's what I actually call life for me, is learn it from experience. Life, L-I-F-E, learn it from experience. And we're here to learn several lessons and several different experiences, or what I call soul adventures. The question is, are they helping you to evolve, or are they not helping you to, maybe in a sense, revolve, and even in a sense, devolve? One of our greatest powers, why we're here, and I remind my students in my development group, people I work with, is our greatest power, why we're here, is free will and choice to choose what we want. And our greatest commodity, why we're here, is our time, the time that we have. So if you ever seen the play Alexander, the play based on Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, I kind of feel like him. I always feel like I'm writing like I'm running out of time. I always feel like time is up against me. And it's funny because when I joined the Coast Guard, one of the very first founding fathers I learned about was Alexander Hamilton, because he was actually the founder of the Treasury Department and also the founder of the Coast Guard. So there's a bit of history. I didn't know years later they'd actually make a very famous Broadway play called Hamilton. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's one of my top three, right up there with Phantom and Les Mis. But I love Hamilton because it's a good look back at history. But I kind of feel like Hamilton. Maybe I'm reincarnated Alexander Hamilton. I don't know, past life. But I always feel like I'm writing like I'm running out of time. I always want to try to cram so much into a single day, and carpe diem, which means seize the moment. And it's not something that I was always, I didn't always have that mindset. My evolution progressed through great trauma and tragedy, through the loss of my brothers, through my own near-death experience, through higher education, going to get my bachelor degrees in business management, and then going on to sports medicine to study how the human body performs. And it was through that unlocked my spiritual path of mediumship, meditation, psychic sciences, healing, the spiritual pathways, everything that is unseen and only felt in that unseen world. Very similar to, if you know your history and you go back to the debates, that if you couldn't see it with your physical eye, it didn't exist. There was several debates. You can even go farther back on the world was flat. There was a concept that the world was flat and that the world ended, and that the sun and everything in the galaxy revolved around the planet. Well, we know through technology and science and understanding and physics as we understand them today, we know that we revolve around a sun. We know that the Earth is round. Now, there are still some people out there that still do believe the Earth is flat. I've seen several pictures of climbers and prospectors at the top of Mount Everest doing selfies. You can see the curvature of the world. It is a round planet. But it just goes to show you how we evolve over time in concepts. And again, even spiritualism. I'm not saying that you have to practice spiritualism. Spiritualism is really about your own journey. It's about, I always say that religion is usually based on somebody else's story. Sometimes it's based on a dude in a faraway land that lived, thousands of years ago, which is fine. But spiritualism for me is about my own journey and embracing what is unknown and what is unseen, and not fearing death, knowing that there is life after death and that we do live on. That's part of the principles of spiritualism. So I'm not a religious guy. I'm not going to try to sell you religion. I'm not going to try to get you to believe what I believe. That's how religion wants us to work. But as a spiritualist path, I'm always asking lots of questions. I always say life is short. Question everything. Question your belief system. Question your thoughts. Question religion. Question your own journey, why you're here, because that's part of evolving. And I always say, once growth stops, decay begins. Let me say that again. Once growth stops, decay begins. So are you growing and are you transforming, or are you revolving and just kind of stuck in this plateau of not moving forward, not reaching your higher self? Now, a big part of this is something I teach on as a transformational coach, as a metaphysical teacher, is fear. Now, for us as humans, we have it's a blessing and a curse to feel things so deeply in the spiritual path, be an empath, resonate with what's going on in the world, consciousness, how people are feeling, religions, politics, governments, social media. You can get very caught up in that feeling, that aspect of it. But are you revolving in it, or are you evolving and moving past that? I myself, I'll be honest with you, when I first started, I got into mediumship and I thought about, I'm going to be a famous medium and have my book and have a movie and a television series. Not thinking about the true depth of what spiritualism is and helping others to heal and to connect. And my own healing, that was a big part of my transformation. And I'm still transforming. I'm still going through the alchemy process. There are things that I'm learning about my roots, about my family, that have been uncomfortable and very challenging for me. Knowing, some things that I have known for years, but just kind of it coming to the surface and unfolding and having awareness for that. And that's part of your evolving. It's not always easy to transform. It's kind of like the seedling having its insides ripped out. But the seedling, once that painful process of being in the dark and having your insides ripped out, you start to sprout, you start to lay your roots, and you start to bear your fruits from the roots that you've laid. And when you pop up through that dark surface, you're like, what the hell is going on? Where am I? How is this fun, what Marc was talking about, evolving? Once you spring up into the light and you start becoming something bigger than yourself, you start becoming, there's the old saying from mighty oaks, little acorns come or evolve. The transformational process is very much the same. I even currently right now am still evolving and still transforming. Even my skin, I've been having a lot of problems with my skin, rosacea and eczema. And, I can look at it from a physical standpoint and say, well, it's just my body getting older. I am in my mid-40s, late 40s, don't tell anybody. Shh. But I look at that also as my skin is part of the largest organ on the body, and aging is part of the transformational. It's part of, we all are born, we all die, and through that process we transform. And so I've even had to change my diet. So this morning I'm drinking my my healthy apple and celery. I've been juicing, so here's my juicing shake. I'm drinking hemp-infused plant-based protein shakes with hemp milk and hemp protein powder. So even my diet has transformed. And you're gonna, as you get older, you're gonna have changes, and it's accepting the changes is part of the evolution process of acceptance and awareness. Eckhart Tolle teaches us that awareness is the greatest agent for change, and I really, truly believe that. Once you're aware of something, you can use action to address it, move into it, let it go, and your life transforms through that. So one of the things I'm going to challenge you this week or today is to surround yourself with like-minded people, to surround yourself with positive thoughts. Try today for 24 hours just to see if you can evolve. See how hard it is, excuse me, to just have positive thoughts for the day. Anytime you find yourself with a negative thought, because we have about 50 to 60,000 thoughts that go through our mind, if you find yourself with a negative thought, change it and require you to do something on this negative thought process. Bring awareness into your thoughts, your mindfulness. Mindfulness is very, very important. And when you have this negative thought, challenge yourself to do something. For example, I'll take the challenge with you. Today I'm gonna focus in on positive thoughts only. And anytime I have a negative thought, I'm gonna do a push-up, one push-up. So I'm gonna try to get in better shape. I'm trying to lose weight, part of the transformational process. But every time I'm having a negative thought, it's my awareness and my mindfulness of addressing my thoughts, because you don't have to believe everything that you've been taught to believe. The ego mind is very, very powerful, very, very controlling. Remember, the body is a slave to the mind, and the mind creates your words will create your actions. And so I'm going to challenge you today, anytime you have for the next 24 hours, if you want to truly start seeing some transformational stuff in your life, it does start with you. It doesn't start from the external standpoint. It starts with you. And every time you have a negative thought, make yourself do something. Go out and pull a weed. I'm sure you have a ton of weeds out in your yard. Or do a push-up. I'm going to do a push-up for every negative thought I have today. So I could be doing like 300 push-ups by the end of the day. So I'll do push-ups and or squats. How about that? So push-ups and squats. Because what I like to do is I like to challenge myself to have awareness to my own mindset. Mindfulness is what we call it. This is something I learned in my graduate studies here at the University of Washington. Visualization, manifestation, meditations. Have you meditated today? Have you tuned into not just your physical self? Have you tuned into your emotional self, your mental self, and of course the energy you give off, which I call your spiritual self? So again, it's the only question. You have to answer this question for yourself. Nobody's going to lead you to it. It's great oaks from little acorns grow was my high school motto. I love that, Carol. So Carol, just that's something I was just talking about. I did a show in the past called about great oaks from little acorns grow. I need more coffee because I don't think I said it right, Carol. But thank you for that. I just saw that pop up. So if you guys like what I'm doing, if you like the work I'm doing, you can visit me at marclainhart.com. Internet search the Intuitive Prospector. You can find me through Alexa and Echo. Just ask to open up Positive Living app. You can also join my page, Intuitive Prospector. Make sure to get on my YouTube channel because I'm hiding keys, and you can claim your keys as a prospector to unlock free courses. I am offering 5 free keys to my spiritual course on Learn It Live called Spiritual ABCs. But you got to go over to my YouTube channel and get that. So just look for Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to that because it's not only these shows, Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. There's also 4+ seasons of Inspired Living Radio, a lot of podcasts on a lot of different topics. And I'll be live this Wednesday, this Wisdom Wednesday, through Om Times Radio. It's our internet-based radio show, so you don't need any application. You just go to the internet. You can go through Facebook and get on our Facebook page, Inspired Living Radio. I'll be having my good friend and colleague who actually got me into Best American Psychics. It was her who actually recommended I do that, the Mississippi medium, Jill M. Jackson. So I've got her book here. We're going to be talking about it. I'm actually in the book, so I'm actually published as a reference or as somebody that helped her on her path, so that's kind of cool. So we'll be talking to her this Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just look for Om Times Radio or Inspired Living Radio. Again, 4 seasons of that. I've got my spiritual hikes on there. I've got some scuba diving on there. It's what I call spiritual awesomeness and soul adventures. So if you want to share out the page, please do so. For those that share out the page and subscribe to the YouTube channel, I enter all those names. I do track that. I do enter your name into a drawing at the end of the month, and I pick one person, or the spirit world picks one person, and I do a free 30-minute reading with you, either phone or video. And it's a good way to connect and get back to people that have helped me grow the show. Like I said, it's Monday morning, and we have about 35 spiritual prospectors tuning into the show. When I started, I think I had 2. So I appreciate you. I see you. I acknowledge you, and I just thank you for being a part of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Seattle, Washington. And sometimes I broadcast from the road, and sometimes, like last week on 9/11, I actually came on. So if you subscribe to the page, I do crossover shows both on my YouTube channel, which will be premiering after today. It'll premiere over my YouTube channel and Instagram. So my Instagram page is also doing crossover shows now. And I hide a lot of different free keys, discounts. And last week, because it was last Wednesday was 9/11, I did a special meditation. I gave out a Zoom room link, and you could join me for a healing meditation. I will be doing more of that. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a class on music and how you can harmonize the chakras. So if you're interested in that, you'll want to pay attention to the information on this page or subscribe to this page. But please share out, like, subscribe, do all that. And I like to every morning give you a totem animal spirit for the week ahead. I want to give you a crystal for the week ahead, and also a number, because I'm a numerologist as well. So I study numbers, the pathways of numbers, and where the numbers are going. So this morning, the surrender card, which is very, very fitting. Now, I know it's backwards on the video. You don't have to tell me. But 91. 9 means completion. 1 means independence just beginning. So it adds up to a 10, and in 10, that still means 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's just something that's starting. If you surrender today, again, the surrender card, if you surrender, that's part of the evolution process. That's part of evolving versus revolving. And if you can surrender and have acceptance, Dr. Wayne Dyer teaches the more we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at start to change, and there's a lot of truth in that. As far as your totem animal spirit, I picked today the butterfly, because again, it's about the transformational processes of moving from the caterpillar, who deliquifies, the whole body deliquifies, even kind of like what I've been dealing with my skin. It's almost like I feel like I'm in a cocoon phase of going through the alchemy process, or the cocoon phase, and in the cocoon, the struggle takes place to change, to transform, to evolve to where you become the butterfly. So if you see the butterfly today, it's just a message to lighten up and stop taking everything so seriously. The mind is real good at making things more serious than what they need to be, and we can calm that mindset through the power of breath, through the power of Qigong. I got this morning and did my meditations, I did my Qigong. The message usually stems from my morning meditations on what I need to talk about. And so I want you to pay attention to the butterfly. I want you to have a little bit of surrender energy. If you're really, truly open to transforming your life and changing, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know I'd be doing this work. I thought I'd be doing fire service. I was a coastie for 8 years. I was a firefighter for 13 years, and I thought that's where my path was going to lead. And due to medical retirement and injury, I couldn't do the job anymore. I had to find a new way, and I'm glad I did. I didn't know I'd be doing spiritualism and doing readings and events and writing articles and doing radio shows and doing Facebook shows, but I love it. I love helping people. I love serving the spirit world. I love helping you kind of bring on that light bulb to turn on and think differently if you choose to, because again, your free will and choice is your greatest commodity, or is your greatest power while you're here, and time to do that is your greatest commodity. What are you doing today? Don't let your imagination take away and create a future that's not yet come or has going to happen or turn out the way you think it's going to happen. And don't let your memories create your past that you can't do anything about. So this morning's prospecting stone is actually the smoky quartz. I want to give a shout out to Ari, who sent me this. She had visited my development group, which is called SDG, Spiritual Development Group. It's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're interested in joining, we cover all aspects of development, not just mediumship, psychic, awareness, intuition. We have a lot of different exercises. It's a closed group, not open to the public, and it's called Spiritual Development Group. So if you're interested in having a visitor's pass, send me a private message, or send me a message off marclainhart.com. You can send that to my email, or put a comment here. But this is the smoky quartz. So this is what she sent to me. It kind of reminds me of the stone from Jurassic Park, right? Like you can almost see like there's something in there. There's some particles in there, but it's smoky quartz. And the smoky quartz, the properties of the quartz, is really, it's a stone that really is made for me, smoky quartz, believe it or not. But it's good intuition stone. It's a good kind of harnessing your intuition. So smoky quartz for today, you can look up smoky quartz, whatever that means for you, but it's a great inspiring stone, intuition stone, kind of opening up the psychic senses, the spidey senses as I like to call them. So that's your stone for the week. Your number is the number 1 or 91, which means surrender. So completion is the number 9. 1 is starting. We are in what is I call the 999 portal, the karmic portal, which started on the 9th of September, and it'll go through the 18th, which is this Wednesday, which is the end of that portal. And I call it the karmic portal because karma is a series of teachable moments. I don't look at karma bad going out, karma bad coming back. I look at it as a series of teachable moments. And are you learning from your teachable moments? That's what today's show is about. Are you evolving, or are you revolving on your life lessons to learn? Only you can answer that question. My job here today is to have an inspirational show to get you thinking for the week ahead, especially on a Monday, because Mondays are just, right? It's a great day for coffee, or for juicing, or for your protein shake. It's all about transformation and changing your diet as well. So change your thoughts, change your life, change your way of thinking, change your relationships and how you interact with the external world. It's very fascinating. Give it a go. So your challenge for this week or for the next 24 hours, see how many positive thoughts you can have, and any negative thoughts you have, see have a reaction to that. So for example, if I have any negative thoughts today, every negative thought I have, if I'm opinionated about somebody, I'm judgmental about somebody, because I always remind people the only person you should ever be in competition with is yourself. And we're such a competitive, capitalistic type of society. It's real easy to do. I personally don't do that anymore. Trust me, I was the number 1 go-getter in competition, based on my military background, based on sports and playing sports all through high school and college. But now I just try to be in competition with myself to evolve to be a better person. And any bad thought I have today, I'm going to do a push-up or a squat. So I'm going to actually incorporate a little exercise based on my mindset and what my mindset is telling me. So let me know where you're from. I appreciate you sharing out the page, subscribing to the page, hanging out with me on a Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. If you want to work with me, just go to marclainhart.com. Just internet search Intuitive Prospector. You'll see my website pull up. You'll see the radio podcast show pull up. I have a lot of articles out there that I've written. This year I wrote about the universal year of 2019. This is a very universal year of big changes coming, and they're still coming. There's still a lot of things that are going to unfold. I just made a post the other day. Things aren't getting worse, guys. Things are getting more obvious. And it was a picture of Captain Obvious from the commercials, the hotel.com Captain Obvious, about him holding that sign saying things aren't getting worse. Things are just getting more obvious. The choice is, what do we do with the obvious that's being presented to us in society? You can go from everything from the global crisis of, as a humanitarian, paying attention to the climate change, the climate crisis, politics, gun control, gun rights, religious beliefs, division of people, not only in the United States, but around the world. Government's doing weird things. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and we can choose to buy into the fear of that. We can choose to believe in that, or we can choose to take the higher path and say, you know what, it's not getting worse, it's just getting obvious, and I choose not to participate in that. Just like for my platforms, I'm all about inspiration and guidance and teaching and education. You're not going to get caught up in my page with negative comments or politics or religion, because I just don't have time for it. I ain't got time for that. It's funny, I posted an article on a hiking page about how I stack stones when I'm out hiking. And stacking stones is used for to mark the path that you're on, but it's also a great spiritual exercise to focus the mind into the magic of the moment. And I posted an article about how to stack stones, just how to teach people how to stack stones on the hike. And one guy came back and was all upset because he said that I was littering by stacking stones, and he doesn't want to go out on a hike and see a stacking of stones. And I was just like, wow, that's just the world we live in. So I could get caught up in that and let that bother me, but I'm like, he's got his own journey, he's got his own path. They're stones, so I'm not littering, I'm just stacking stones, and I can always take the stones down. But it just shows you where we're at in society. It's kind of crazy out there right now, and everybody has an opinion about something. I'm choosing to have my opinion be more mindful, and my words matter, because your words matter, guys. They create a vibration. So if you want to evolve, I highly recommend the transformational process of evolving and not revolving, but the choice is always yours. And you can always, one of the first steps I always talk about in changing and evolving is stop pretending your problems don't exist. Face them. The longer you ignore them, the stronger they will get. Stop putting your happiness or life satisfaction in the hands of others. It's your life. It's your journey. You came in this world alone, so shall you return. But I can guarantee that there'll be people waiting for you on the other side because we don't do this journey alone. We may feel like it in the physical world, but we have a lot of unseen things that are happening around us that support us and guide us and help us and inspire us. And you know, a way to transform is stop pretending your mistakes never happen. You know, mistakes means that you're trying, guys. I always teach my students in my group, fail often, fail big. If you come to my group, I'm going to tell you to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's in the uncomfortability zone that we learn and we transform and we have awareness. And when we feel like we're failing and we put it in a bad context, fail often, fail big, because it means first attempt in learning. And if we're making mistakes along the path, we're going to do that because that means that you're trying to live your life. Now, if you keep making the mistakes over and over and over again, the lesson repeats until it completes, and what we resist persists, then you're not evolving, you're actually just revolving. So it's like being on this merry-go-round. Do you want to stop being on this merry-go-round and get off? The choice is yours. Stop telling yourself you can't do something before you've given it an honest effort. Give it a go. Ask, receive, believe it, achieve it, see it, all of that, all the mantras that I use. And stop neglecting the things that are important to you. If today was your last day on earth, what would you want to be accomplished? That's why I love doing these shows. That's why I say carpe diem, seize the day, because I do these shows every Monday. Yeah, sometimes I'm tired. I don't want to do the show. You know, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But every Monday, the inspiration is created space for me. The spirit world, those that are no longer with me, are here to assist me and inspire me and kind of uplift and raise my vibration. Trust the universe, trust what is unseen, trust your belief system, but just pay attention to what your belief system is telling you too, because anytime you get into fear, which is a blockage, or you get into dogmas of control, then you're really not living your true authentic self. So pay attention. You have your own intuition. Trust your intuition, which is your language of your soul. So that's today's message. Again, stop pretending your problems don't exist. Face them. The longer you ignore them, the stronger they will get. Stop putting your happiness or life satisfaction in the hands of others. Stop pretending your mistakes never happen. Mistakes means that you're trying. Just don't try to repeat those mistakes. Learn from them. Grow from them. They made you who you are. You are where you are because of the mistakes and the failures that you have constantly gone through. And stop telling yourself you can't do something before you give it an honest effort. Give it an honest go, and if you fail, first attempt in learning, come back. You know, there's a quote from that talks about, you know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, for some of you that know, and there's a point where Yoda talks about the master has failed more times than the student has even attempted. So think about that. Think about how, as you get older and wiser, how many times you've failed and how many times you've made mistakes. But think about where those choices have taken you, and hopefully they've taken you to the higher path, a better, happier life. And if they're not, then there's no better time than the present to start that right now. Life is not over. Regardless of your age, you can always start anew. There's always a fresh day to seize the day and start planting seeds today for the future you want tomorrow. So I just want to thank you for hanging out with me this morning. I'm going to be back here in about 30 seconds for the Healing Cafe, where I'll have a direct conversation with all of you. So get your questions ready. Again, one question per person. It can be a spiritual chat. It's a community of talking and sharing and inspiration. And if it's a live reading, I'll have you either call into my business line or come on video with me. And if you do, put a headset in or turn your volume down so I can hear you okay and everybody else can hear you. Because it's like a spiritual box of chocolates, guys. I have no idea what we're going to get until we actually start. So if you want to hang out with me, the Healing Cafe starts in 30 seconds. You can catch this premiere over on my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe, like, share out. Visit me at marclainhart.com. It's been my pleasure connecting with you this morning for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. Until our next soul adventure together, I'll be back next Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Facebook page of The Intuitive Prospector. Have a great week. Pay attention to your thoughts and ask yourself, are you evolving? Are you revolving? Choice is always yours. So our next soul adventure together, be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and I'll see you next Monday for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Namaste.